Margaret Wilson was 75 years old when her world collapsed. The eviction notice came on a quiet Tuesday morning. No warning. No second chances. The building she had lived in for over 40 years was being sold, and the new owners had no interest in keeping old tenants. Margaret tried to stay strong, but deep inside, she felt invisible, forgotten. A week later, she stood outside with just 2 suitcases. Everything else, her furniture, her memories, gone. She looked around, hoping someone might stop, might ask if she was okay. No one did. With trembling hands, she whispered, "Where do I go now?" She had no children. Her husband had passed away many years ago. Most of her friends were either gone, or too far away. Then suddenly, a memory returned. Her grandmother's house. It had been empty for decades. No one had lived there since her grandmother passed away. Margaret hadn't even visited it in over 30 years. But now, it was the only place left. After a long and tiring journey, Margaret finally arrived. The house looked old and forgotten, just like she felt. The paint was peeling. The windows were dusty. The garden had grown wild. Still, it stood strong. She slowly unlocked the front door. The wood creaked loudly as if the house itself was waking up after a long sleep. Inside, everything was frozen in time. Old furniture covered in dust. Faded curtains. The faint smell of memories. Margaret walked slowly through each room, her heart heavy yet strangely comforted. "This was home once," she whispered. As she explored, something caught her attention. A door at the end of the hallway. The basement. She remembered it clearly. Her grandmother had always kept it locked. "No one goes down there," she used to say with a mysterious smile. Margaret had never questioned it back then. But now, standing in front of that same door, she felt something different. Curiosity. Hope. Maybe even destiny. The lock was old and rusty. To her surprise, the key was still hanging on a small nail nearby. Her hand shook as she picked it up. "Let's see what you were hiding, Grandma," she murmured. The lock clicked open. Slowly, she pushed the door. Darkness. A cold breeze rushed up the stairs as if the basement had been waiting for this moment. Margaret hesitated. Then she stepped down. One step at a time. The wooden stairs creaked beneath her feet. The air was thick with dust and silence. At the bottom, she found a light switch. Click. A dim yellow light flickered on. And what she saw made her freeze. The basement wasn't empty. It was filled. Boxes. Shelves. Old trunks. But everything was neatly arranged, almost as if someone had carefully prepared it. Margaret moved closer to the nearest table. There were envelopes. Dozens of them. Each one labeled with a name. Confused, she picked one up. Her heart skipped a beat. It had her name on it. Margaret. With shaky fingers, she opened it. Inside was a letter. In her grandmother's handwriting. "My dear Margaret. If you're reading this, it means life has been unkind to you. I always knew you were the strongest of us all, but even the strongest need a place to begin again. Everything in this basement is for you. I couldn't give you much while I was alive, but I made sure to leave you something that would change your life when you needed it the most. Don't be afraid. This is your second chance. With love, Grandma." Tears streamed down Margaret's face. Her hands trembled as she looked around again. This time, she saw it differently. This wasn't just a basement. It was a gift. A lifeline. She opened one of the old trunks. Inside were documents. Property papers. Savings bonds. Carefully stored and preserved. Her grandmother had secretly built something for her. A future. Margaret sank to her knees, overwhelmed. At 75 years old, when she thought everything was over. Her life was just beginning again. Weeks later, the house looked alive again. The garden was cleaned. The windows shined. Laughter returned to its walls. Margaret didn't just survive. She rebuilt. And for the first time in a long time, she felt safe. She felt seen. She felt home. Moral of the story. Sometimes, when life takes everything away, it's only making space for something greater. And sometimes, the answers we need have been waiting for us all along.